Beautiful. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Wonderland session number 4. I am sitting here in my living room. I am recording this on my camera. I am broadcasting live on Facebook. I am broadcasting live on Instagram Live, and it's all very exciting. Thank you all so much for joining me here for another Wonderland session. I absolutely love doing this. They are so joyful for me. And so I wanted to say thank you for joining me on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I put on my pink wig for you. I hope that you're enjoying it. And today we are going to be talking about creativity. Now, I have been doing these Wonderland sessions for the last 3 weeks. The first one was about feeling good generally. The second one was about relationships and love and fixing your relationships. And the third was about radical self-love. So this fourth one is about creativity. What does it mean to be creative? How do we get in the zone? How do we harness those juicy creative feelings? And how do we make it work? So if you've missed any of the previous episodes or sessions, they're on YouTube, they're on my blog, galadarling.com/blog. You're welcome to go and check them out. They make for really good Sunday viewing. And I don't even hate to say it, but when I am feeling not great recently, or when I'm not feeling like I'm in the vortex, or I'm feeling like I need some inspiration, even I am going back and rewatching these Wonderland sessions and really reminding myself of what I need to know. Because these things that I've been talking about are simple truths, and they're simple truths that are making me feel really good in my life, and they're really helping me make my life the way I want to make it, and make it really like creative and special and feeling really good. So that's what we're talking about today. So let's talk about creativity. And if you have any questions about creativity, I would love to hear them. I'm happy to answer your questions. But that's the thing with this subject is I get stuff about this all the time. And the question I get the most actually is people saying to me, you know, I have this book I want to write, or I'm a painter, or I'm a musician, but I just don't feel inspired, and I don't know what to do next, and what are your tips? What should I be doing? You know, like, how do I get into the zone? And so I have some notes. As always, I have notes, and I'm gonna go through these with you. So here is the most important thing that I want to say to you. And look at that. We just got a question on Facebook from Hannah Louise Young. What do you do when you feel completely unmotivated and uncreative? Perfectly timed question, Hannah. Thank you for asking. I'm going to address that right now. So here's what we do when we feel completely unmotivated and we feel completely uncreative. We don't sit at our desk or our easel or go to our kitchen if we're a chef. We don't fire up the amp. We don't force ourselves to pick up the pencil. We don't do that. We don't do that. Because when you try to force yourself to be creative, it doesn't work. It's like trying to force yourself to be in love with a complete stranger. It doesn't work like that. Creativity is about your connection with yourself. And when you don't feel connected with who you are, and you feel out of alignment, and you feel out of sorts, and you feel confused and demotivated and bummed out, you're not going to be able to create anything anyway. So if you don't feel connected to yourself, you're not going to be able to create anything anyway. When you don't feel connected to yourself, anything that you try to make will suck. Have you ever noticed that if you are on some kind of deadline and you feel like you've got to make these things happen, but you are just not feeling it, everything that you make is kind of a dud. It might be salvageable later, but it's probably not that good in the moment. And the reason for that is because you're not plugged into who you are. You need to be feeling your own connection to yourself first. So in every single Wonderland session that I have filmed over the last 4 weeks, I mention this blog post, and I'm going to mention it again. It is a blog post I wrote a little over a month ago about having a sacred morning practice. I am going to keep banging this drum because it really is that important. If you don't have a morning practice that puts you back into connection with yourself, reminds you of who you are, reminds you of how good you have it, reminds you of all the things that you're grateful for, all the blessings that you have, if you don't have that connection to yourself, the rest of your day is going to be a wash. I really want everyone watching to start having and practicing some stuff in the morning that makes them feel good. Right? I'm going to go through it again really briefly. These are the things that you can do. Gratitude, meditation, orgasm, workout, listening to lectures or chanting or whatever, dancing around your living room. All of these things are an amazing way to start the day. Last week, I had a girl on Facebook say, oh, my boyfriend and I have sex first thing in the morning, and it's great, but I don't really feel like I have a lot of time for my sacred morning practice. And I was like, stop, hold everything. That is the ideal sacred morning practice because you're connected to yourself, you're in your body, everything's feeling good, you're putting yourself into a receptive state first thing. That is perfect. Sex in the morning is an amazing addition to your sacred morning practice. And then when he gets up and he goes to work or whatever, you can meditate for like 5 minutes, get out of bed, and make your day amazing. So don't feel like if you're lucky enough to be having sex early in the morning that's throwing off your morning practice. It is not. You are living the dream, my friend. So I have another comment here on Facebook from Hannah saying, I struggle because I have 2 young children and a school run to do. I answered a question like this last week, and what I said was, involve your children in your sacred morning practice. Get them in bed with you. Everyone talks about what you're grateful for. When you're having breakfast or you're doing the school run and you're driving to school, everyone gets to pick one song and you all dance to it and you all jam out, right? There are ways to involve your children in the sacred morning practice. A sacred morning practice is not necessarily a solo, selfish event. You can involve your entire family, and in fact, it will feel so much better when you do. So don't make excuses for not having enough time, whatever. We all have enough time. And if you do not have 5 minutes in the morning, wake up 5 minutes earlier. It won't kill you and it will make you feel good. Okay? So sacred morning practice, first most important thing. Someone is saying, I want to start this, but it's hard for me to get up early enough to have enough time for this. This does not have to take long. This can take 5 minutes. We have all got 5 minutes. Do not argue for your limitations with me because I'm not having it. We all can make 5 minutes. You got it? Capiche? Okay, let's fucking go. So, you start your day in this place. You start your day with gratitude, feeling good, whatever. You have your practice. It's so important. And once you have that practice, you make time and space and room for your creativity. Creativity is not about forcing yourself to sit there and do it. It's not. That doesn't work. I don't know anyone who's creative that forces themselves to sit there and do it unless they happen to be on a really tight deadline and it's got to be done. Being creative is about allowing the vibe to roll through your body, allowing inspiration to come, and then putting it on paper or on the easel or into your guitar or wherever it is, whatever you do with your creativity. It's about allowing. It is about receiving your own broadcast, your own inspiration. It's about really feeling the vibe. Yeah. Woo! It's about feeling really good and letting it flow through you. Here's an example. When I was in Tulum in, I don't even know when, I don't know, April or May or something. I went there with the express goal of working on my book. And in order to work on my book, I did not wake up at 6 in the morning and drag my laptop out and start working. No. I woke up at 6 in the morning because the sun was shining into my room and I felt so good. I woke up and I put on some of my favorite music. I sent a loving text to my boyfriend. I put on my favorite music. I strapped on a resistance band or an ankle weight and I stood in front of the mirror and I did a workout. After my workout, I walked to the outside shower in the jungle and I washed my body. I did my face. I put on a sparkly bikini and like a purple caftan. And then I got in a car or on a bike or I walked along the beach to a treehouse jungle cafe and I sat there for hours and I allowed the vibe to roll through me and I worked on my book. And when I was writing it, I remember saying to friends of mine who were asking about it that I was writing as much sunshine into the book as I could. I was writing the sunshine into the book. I was not chained to my laptop. When I was sick of writing for the day, I got up, I went for a fucking walk. I did something else. I was not forcing myself to be in this mode. I was enjoying the process. I was loving creating and feeling good. And I was letting my good mood and my established mood create everything from there. So the idea with this is you have to feel inspired first and then you can take action. It doesn't work in reverse. Have you ever had those moments where you're like, oh God, I have to make a decision right now? And when you're in that vibe of like, I have to make a decision right now, have you ever noticed that none of the decisions feel good? You're forcing yourself to act before you are truly ready to act. You're forcing yourself to act before you really feel inspired to do it. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So unless you really feel inspired, and remember, the way that we feel inspired is by taking care of our alignment with ourselves, don't act. Because it won't work. You are wasting your time. Don't rush to act. Don't rush to act. We all feel like we have to rush to act, and we don't. I promise that we don't. Okay. So what I was saying there was about this receptive mode where we are more creative. And any of you who are creative for a living, or you have a creative hobby, or you have something that you love to do, you probably know by now from dabbling in it or doing it for years that there are certain times of the day when you are on fuego and you are in the mode, you're ready to create, you've got it down, right? And there are other times when like it just doesn't really work. And we're all like this. We all have patterns of energy and mood that we kind of just live by our whole lives. So in the morning, obviously, we have the opportunity to create this place where we feel really good. But then over the course of the day, there are natural ebbs and flows of energy that we can choose to capitalize on if we so choose. So what I would like you to start doing is to start planning these receptive modes. For example, I know that I am most creative between the hours of 7 a.m. and 12 p.m. And then from like 10:30 at night till about 2 or 3 in the morning. Those are my times. Those are my times when I am on. My brain is sharp, it's firing, I'm inspired, I'm ready to go, everything's working, I'm not distracted, I am ready to create. After I have lunch, it's pretty much over for the day. Once I eat, I'm done. My body is digesting. I want to be on Instagram. I want to make some phone calls. I want to go for a walk. I want to do something else. So don't try to force yourself. Again, forcing is never working, right? Don't force yourself to be creative at the times that you know that you are not creative. If I tried to write a serious anything at 4 p.m., it would be a total dud. That doesn't work. I have to make time and space in my schedule for the times that it really, really works. So I want to just encourage you to build that into your day. Capitalize on what you naturally have going on. Use those times when you feel good naturally, and then grab your pen and get into it. Make it happen. Okay. So here's another point that I would love to make, and I think this is really important. We are humans, most of us, and as humans, we are always going to want more. We are always going to want something new, something else. You publish your first book, you want to publish your second book. You get a speaking engagement, you want more speaking engagements. You fall in love, you want to fall more deeply in love. You have sex, you want to have better sex. You get a great body, you want to get a better body. You have a nice apartment, you want to get a nicer apartment, right? And the list goes on and on and on. And some of us feel guilty for having these desires. We feel like, oh man, I should just be grateful for what I have, and why do I always need this next thing, and I'm so restless, and is this a huge flaw in me? Am I wrong for wanting these things? What is this all about? The reason you want more things is because you are alive, and because you're human, and it's beautiful that you want more. It's fantastic. It's what will keep driving you forward. It's what will inspire you to make your life better. This desire is the spark of everything. So don't feel guilty for having a spark of desire. It's a beautiful thing. It will lead you to all the wonders and all the beauty in your life. Don't feel bad for having desire. Nurture your desire. Get curious about it. Poke it, prod it, see what it's about, test it out. Act as if it has already come true. See what that feels like. But the point with having the desire is that we are always on our way somewhere. We are always creating something, manifesting something, working towards something new, heading in a different direction. And we will be doing this for our entire lives. We will always be on our way somewhere. Even when you get that thing, you get your book published, done. Almost immediately, you will want the next thing. You will be on to the next subject. You will want more. Oh, I published my book. Okay, now I want to be on the New York Times bestseller book list. Oh, I published my book. Okay, now I want to sell it in 6 different languages. Oh, okay, I published my book. Now I want lots of 5-star reviews on Amazon. Oh, I published my book. Okay, now I want to be on television talking about it. So we're always on our way somewhere. And what I want to recommend to you, or just make you think about this a little bit, is we're always in the process of becoming. So it's very important that we learn to feel good in the becoming. Does that make sense? Let me know if that doesn't make sense. But to me, that's a very clear thing. To me, that is about being grateful for everything that we have, even while we are on the path to the next thing that we want. And if you cannot find joy or pleasure or excitement or fun in the becoming, you're not going to find it in the fulfillment of the dream or the goal either. And this is something that I have had to learn over and over again. And I remember when my book was published, I was excited for about 20 minutes, and then I sort of thought, is that all there is? Like, shouldn't I be more excited about this? This is my greatest dream realized, is to have a book come out. Why don't I feel good about it? Why do I not feel more excited? Shouldn't I be doing backflips in Barnes and Noble right now? But the real beauty of that experience was in writing the book, designing the book, creating the book, selling the book, seeing it in hardcover. But really, the creativity was the most joyful part of that for me. Writing it was the most fun part. That was really the reward of it. That was really the point. And it's very easy to get tripped up and think that like the pinnacle of the creative experience should be the book got published, the painting got sold, the demo went to press and you got a record, or whatever, getting the record deal, doing a show. It's not always that way. And we need to learn to, yes, Laura Jane on Instagram just said, learn to love the journey. We do. We need to learn to love the journey. And it's just like they say, you know, happiness is a journey, not a destination. Same with radical self-love, and same with creativity. We have to learn to enjoy it. Stop thinking about the end goal so much. You already know what you want. The universe knows what you want as your end goal for your creativity. So just really be in it. Soak it up. Enjoy the experience. Some of the most fun things for me about creating something, writing a book, is like packing up my laptop, putting on an outfit, going to a coffee shop or a co-working place. It's, you know, the conversations I have with my friends about what I'm making. It's that feeling of being deeply in the flow when I've got my laptop in front of me and I'm typing and then my music is playing and the words are just coming through me and it feels so good. That's really where the joy is. So don't put all your eggs in this like fulfillment final product basket, because that's not where all the joy is. There is some joy there, absolutely, but it's not everything. So don't hold yourself to that as your standard, because I think you're really hijacking yourself out of something that's so, so beautiful. Yes, Laura on Instagram just said joy is key and it's now. Absolutely. Joy is here right now. Pleasure is here right now. We can feel pleasure and joy and glee and creativity and flow and gratitude right now. Right now. It's our choice. We get to feel it. So another thing that I think that I'm thinking about when it comes to creativity is we often get confused, or we feel like we kind of know what we want in our lives, but we're like, well, I want it, but maybe there's a trade-off here. I want it, but what if this happens? Or I want it, but there are some downsides to that happening too. And when we're in this place of like pushing and pulling, where I want it, but what if that happens? Or I want it, but what if he says X if that happens for me? As long as we're in that place where there's a push and a pull, we're kind of putting resistance into the things that we want to create, the things we want to manifest. And we're making it much, much harder on ourselves. So one thing that really, really helps with this, and I put this in with the creative talk because it's about writing, and you know, I love to talk about writing because it's my thing. What you can do is just write down the things that you want. And this isn't even really for the benefit of manifesting, because the universe already knows what you want. You're sending out beams of what you want all the time. at a subconscious level. But sometimes we, in our conscious mind, are a little bit confused about it. We're not totally sure. We go back and forth. Do I want to be with the guy that looks like a Viking, or do I want to be with the girl that looks like an elf? I don't know why they're fantastical creatures. It's just where my mind is right now. You know, do I want to live in a beautiful home in the suburbs, or do I want to live in an apartment in the city? Do I want to go skiing or go to the beach? Do I want to sleep in, or do I want to stay awake? And sometimes it's hard to choose. So what I would like you to try is just write down the things that you want and write them as if they have already happened. So, I am with a beautiful Viking man. Or, I am with a beautiful elf girl. Or, I have a beautiful home in the suburbs. Or, I have a beautiful apartment in the city. Write these things down as if they were happening right now. But then don't focus so much on the words necessarily. Focus on how it feels. Manifesting and creating the life that you want is all about the feeling, the vibe, the energy. What does it feel like when you get these things, when they come together? Let that feeling fill your whole body. And you know, this can even be part of your morning practice, right? This can be part of you gearing up for the day. Lie in bed, give yourself 5 minutes of visualizing all the things that you want, and let it warm your body. Let it be a source of internal radiance. Let it get hot inside you and sizzle, make your skin sparkle. Let it be so big that you can physically feel it. And that is where manifesting really comes from. When we can really feel it, when we really get in the vibe, when we can really get juicy about it. That's what it's all about. And then, you know, when you're thinking about these things that you want, just stay in it for as long as you can. Hold on to the feeling for as long as you can. Abraham Hicks talks about holding on to it for 17 seconds. Close your eyes and count it. And visualize it. And feel it. Feel it. When people say you should act as if in order to manifest things, that's really what they're saying. They're saying feel it. Because if something were to happen to you, say for example, I really wanted a pair of sunglasses, my boyfriend's sunglasses. Say I really wanted a pair of sunglasses. Instead of just thinking about how it would look, what I want to do is think about how it would feel to wear them. So I put them on. These really don't suit me at all. But I put them on and I feel like a cool person, or whatever it is. Whatever that vibe is. And I visualize walking down the street in them, being like, hey, like the fawns to everybody that I see, or whatever my vision is of how these sunglasses will make me feel. I let that sink in. I sit in that feeling. I let it permeate my body. And that is how you create things. And we work on just like allowing that to happen. We get out of the way of our own resistance. And one of the ways that we can get out of the way of our own resistance is if there's something that we really want, but we're worried about it, or we're anxious about it, or we're unsure about it, just stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. Think about something instead that's really easy for you to feel good about. Maybe think about your dog. Think about a chocolate bar. Think about going for a walk in the park. Whoa, my music just started playing, which is like extremely Mercury retrograde. Has this one been a doozy for you? Because I can't even begin to tell you what a doozy it has been for me. Okay, so another thing that I want to say on creativity, and this is my last point on this, is that we need to be extremely aware of what we are consuming on a regular basis and who we are spending time with, what we're watching, what we're listening to on our headphones, what we are going and doing with our time, what books we're reading, what blogs we're reading, what Twitter accounts we follow. All of these things are extremely important. So if you're not feeling inspired, maybe take mental stock of what you're feeding your mind. And take mental stock of who you're spending time with and what you're doing with your time. Are you doing anything to fire yourself up? Or are you just sitting in a cubicle all day and then going home and going to sleep? You're not going to feel inspired if you do that. You are just not. Your body and your mind is a temple. And it's like a temple with a big pink fire burning in the back of it. And all of the things that you're consuming are the feed for this fire. So you can feed your fire really good, clean burning wood, or you can feed it like plastic containers and packaging and like little bits of, I don't know, chocolate bar wrappers or whatever. Stuff that doesn't burn clean, stuff that doesn't burn for very long, stuff that is not a sustainable energy source. You need to be really mindful about what you're feeding your fire. And if it ain't working, change it up. Personally, I'm really enjoying watching interview clips with Jim Carrey. He's really speaking some truth right now, talking about the nature of reality and what we pay attention to and what really matters. I love watching Jim Carrey. I love watching documentaries about creative people. I love listening to music that gives me lots of energy rather than making me feel slow or tired. I love unfollowing people on Instagram and Twitter. You know what I really love is that I deleted Twitter from my phone and I don't ever look at it anymore. Oh my God, my life feels so much better. And all of these things that I've been recommending to you today and talking about have resulted in one of the most creative and personally satisfying months of my life. This has been such a good month because every morning I'm focusing on feeling good, and then I'm working from that inspired place. I'm not waking up feeling like shit, dragging myself to a co-working space and just like putting it in. No, I'm not. I wake up, I feel good, I get dressed from within the vortex, which is why we end up in sparkly bodysuits and extremely flared pants and pink wigs. I'm letting this good feeling from my morning inspire everything else. I'm creating more, and I'm very open to new ideas. I'm really allowing new ideas to come to me. I am, just things are happening that wouldn't necessarily be happening on a normal basis. I'm, doing live streams with my friend Sark, who came and sat here on my couch the other day. And I'm seeing a girl tomorrow that I've never met in person, who I met on Instagram, who's a beautiful artist. And I'm seeing another friend of mine from Toronto this weekend. And these things are just coming. These people who are so creative and inspiring and really magical. Like these people who are kind of like rainbows within a sack of flesh are coming to town. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. And it's beautiful. And the reason that these things are happening is because I'm in this good place. And when I am in a good place, I can't help but attract similarly fantastic things. So that is what it is all about. Getting yourself in a good place first, and then using that to fuel everything else. So that is our session for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm so excited because my live event, Your Most Magical Year, tickets went on sale yesterday. They are selling. It's very exciting. My event is on January 13th and 14th in New York City. You will have an astrologer tell you the pertinent dates for your year. You will have Veronica Vallo, the Love Witch, read your tarot cards and give you a top secret mission for you to carry out through the course of the year. You will have your aura photo taken. You will get my 2018 almanac in a goodie bag, plus a desire map, a day planner from Danielle Laporte. There will be lots of treats, streamers, balloons, and we are going to work together to plan your year and make it super special. We're going to sit down. We're going to dream really big about what it is exactly you want to make and do in 2018. And we are going to come up with a plan together to help you make it happen. It is going to be the best weekend of your life. Think of it as like a belated New Year's Eve party. That's how I'm thinking of it. Because I'm going to wear sequins. I'm going to wear a wig. We're going to go all out. We're going to have a dance party. It's going to be amazing. And you're going to meet the most amazing women. I hate to brag, but the babes who come to my events, you don't even know how great they are. They are unbelievably creative, special, kind, thoughtful, magical, creative. So good. So if you would like to join us, it's on my blog, galadarling.com/yourmostmagicalyear. We still have a few early bird tickets available, and literally there is only a handful of them. So if you want one, please snap it up now. They will not last. And I will see you in a month's time. Oh my God! I'm so excited. And if you have any questions about the event or you're not sure about anything, email us, love@galadarling.com, and we'll get back to you. But I'm so excited to do this, and just to make, it's like a Wonderland session, but like on steroids. It's just, I can't put it into words. I'm really excited about this. I'm so excited to create a universe for you that feels really good and that superpowers you, and I want to polish up all your dull edges and make them all shiny. Because you're so capable and you're so fucking great. And I want to help you realize it. Yes, I do. Okay, that's today's Wonderland session. You guys are amazing. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I will be back same time next week, next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking forward to talking to you again. You're beautiful.